Welcome back everybody to Extreme Off-Road Silly Bills, and today we're dealing with the 2023 MG Cyberster. So this now has 697 horsepower, 862 pounds-feet of torque from its 77 kilowatt-hour batteries plus two electric motors, one at the front, one at the rear. The car itself now weighs 3,497 pounds, and it can now do 0 to 60 in 2.594 seconds, 0 to 100 in 5.219 seconds, and it can go to a total speed of 202 miles an hour. And to help it on this series, it's got off-road tyres, off-road suspension to go along with its standard all-wheel drive system. So yeah, as you can see, the stats are on the whole fairly decent, especially the braking, launch and acceleration. The top speed obviously in terms of stats is a little bit skewed because you have to change the gearing yourself to get it up to any kind of speed above 170. And the off-road capability for what is obviously a convertible sports car is also fairly decent. It's only really the handling that is letting this down, but I do hope that that won't be much of an issue. So yeah, electric cars on this series have had a pretty decent track record. The Rimac Nevera is still the fastest electric car that we've had on this series so far, still situated in 6th place with a time of 3 minutes 11.659. so if we can match that, then I'd be happy. But this is a sports car at the end of the day, and then Nevero is a hypercar, so yeah, that has way more power and torque than we do, even when this has been upgraded, which isn't by a huge margin to be honest. It's only about 160 horsepower more than standard, so yeah, that's not a great deal amount extra to be honest, but it does weigh nearly £1,000 less, so yeah, less weight, more power should combine to make a substantially quicker car. Whether it's a quicker car that can deal with this off-road course, well, we'll have to see. For now it is dealing with everything okay. It's a fairly decent rates of speed there, 165 I saw. Does take a little bit of building up for the power to really come on all in one go, though, to be honest. It does seem a little bit sluggish at gaining speeds at times, especially below a certain RPM. That could though just be the car struggling to put the power down on these kind of surfaces with these off-road tyres, which obviously it's not meant for dealing with. It's fairly agile. Certainly more so than it was in standard form, given it's got a lot less in the way of weight. So it's a lot more truckable than it was. Oh, did we just get that? Yeah, I think we did. Very, very lucky there. Lost a little bit of control there. Oh yeah, we're gonna have to stop it there. Yeah, it gets to a certain amount of RPM. We're gonna have to use 2 of our rewinds to get into a good position. It gets to a certain amount of RPM and then it just absolutely flies. So it's really hard to gauge when that power is gonna come on, because being an electric car, it's not exactly changing up every now and then. It's not like an old turbocharger when you could sense when it's going to start to come on the power, but with this you'd have to look at the RPM, and that is obviously very hard to do when you're hooning around an off-road course 100 mile an hour plus a lot of the time with tricky corners and whatnot. So yeah, given a lengthy enough amount of road, it certainly would get up to 202 miles an hour in a quite a sharpish amount of time, but here it just does not have the room to let itself breathe in that regard. As you can see, it's fairly normal in terms of acceleration, and then it will get up to about 12,000 RPM, and then it's just one. It's there. It's just all of the power is coming all at once. Could be the way that I've set the car up in terms of its drive ratio, just to get that extra bit of speed. I didn't feel like 160, 170 would be enough for this course, but still, there we go. Not quite as quick as a Hyundai Kona from the previous episode at 3 minutes 22.305. So yeah, by no means the fastest electric car that we've had on this series. And yeah, like I said, that is nowhere near as quick as the Kona from the previous episode, which, you know, is a crossover. It's only had about 668 horsepower, so slightly less than this and way less in the way of torque. And yet that managed 3 minutes 18.175, so it's more than 4 seconds quicker than we were. And yeah, the time we got here puts us slap bang in between an MG6 X Power and a Lancia Delta HF Integrale Evo. We are quicker than the Wuling Hongyang Mini EV Macaron, which I guess is no real surprise. That car was a little bit of a handful considering its small size, but the massive amount of power that car had certainly made up for its inability to properly drive. But yeah, other EVs, it is quicker than the Ital Design Da Vinci Concept. I don't think I'm really finding many other EVs that this is slower, quicker than even. Nope, it's looking like, well, the Ford F-150 Lightning Platinum were quicker than that by more than 5 seconds, so substantially quicker than that, but that was a much heavier car and a larger one at that. And quicker than the Xpeng P7. The Neo EP9, but then again that was one of the first cars that we took on this series, so that's probably why it's as low down as it was. But yeah, so not the quickest electric car that we've had by any means. You know, the likes of the Rivians were far quicker, the R1S and the R1T, as well as the you know, the Cupra Tavascan concept, the Audi RS e-tron GT, and the Hummer EV pickup. They were all quicker, as well as the Lotus, which one is it called, the Lotus Evija? Yeah, that was quicker than us, as well as obviously the Rimac Nevera, which is still in 6th place. So yeah, a little bit underwhelming, to be honest. It's a shame that the power came on at such unpredictable times. I'm sure it would be predictable if I got used to it and was able to actually look at the RPM at the same time as we were going quite quickly. But yeah, unfortunately the lack of, you know, general off-road capability, the handling being a bit iffy, and the massive amounts of power that came on at the wrong opportunities. Would have been nicer to have the power more low down. Ultimately slowed it down. So yeah, which is a bit of a shame because I really do like the car and the kind of thing it's going for, but at the end of the day it just wasn't that quick. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.